The story starts in the rainy season. The main character forgets his umbrella and was getting wet from the rain. He then starts running to his apartment to get shelter. When he was going up the stairs, he encounters a girl who was wielding a sword. The girl gives him a murderous look, which startles him. After that, a pair of keys drop on the ground, and the sound from the keys scares the girl. He was scared at first, but after taking a look, he thinks that she is just a cosplayer. He looks at her and gets impressed by how well her costume was made down to the sandals. After that, he walks away thinking she is really dedicated to her work, but then she tells him to stop. He says that it is his house and wonders if he scared her by any chance. She acts aggressively toward him, which makes him confused. After that, he thought she is a weird person and goes inside his home. While closing the door, he saw that she was standing at the corner of the stairs. After taking a shower, he grabs a drink, and after that he calls his cat Wintermelon for feeding him. He then drinks from the cannon. Says it felt refreshing to drink after taking a shower. He then sits by the window and said his work is done. After some time passes, he grabs his umbrella and checks on the other side of the door if the girl was still there. He saw that no one was there, but to confirm it, he opens the door. He then finds the girl sitting right next to the door. He gets nervous and tells her that she can use her umbrella to head home. He also says that she can call her family if she wants, and tells her to go home. The girl asks where she is, and he replied that it is the neighborhood of Baiyang Road. After hearing it, she gets confused and asked who he is. He tells her that she can call him Lei Feng. He then asked if she wants the umbrella or not, but she didn't understand what he was saying. She then introduces herself as a disciple of Basalt Gang and says that she has no idea why she is there. Lei thought that she is either ill or has a grade syndrome. Lei then thought that it would be better if he rather calls security and tells her to come inside the house. He then calls security and was discussing the matter. The girl then intensely stares at the TV and gets startled by it. Lei was still in the conversation, but then he saw that the girl stabbed the TV with her sword and broke it. She looked scared as she stabbed the TV, but Lei couldn't comprehend what just happened. After that, the girl gives him a murderous look and Lei hangs up the phone. Lei knew that things are going to get dangerous if he doesn't do something. The girl then asked about the people in the box and who was he talking to. Lei wondered if she is from Wuqiao acrobatic troupe and if she can't even afford to pay for the TV. He tells her to put down her sword and says that he is a good person. While she was pulling her sword from the TV, he noticed that it was a real sword. He asked her name and where she came from. She replied that her name is Zhang and she is a disciple of Salt Gang. He asked, "Where is the Salt Gang?" And she gets surprised that he doesn't know about it. He replied he hasn't heard of the Salt Gang and looked at her drenched body. Lei says that he is a good person and she can ask him any question. Zhang said that she wanted to go home back to the Salt Gang. He asks if she knows Cheng City, but she was clueless. He then wondered if she is an ancient person and asked who the emperor is. She was clueless and says that Her Majesty is just Her Majesty. Lei gets angry and asked what year it was. Zhang then confirmed if it wasn't the 16th year of Cayenne. Lei gets shocked because it didn't seem that she is joking and tells her to give him a second. He then searches the internet and asked if the emperor's name was Tang Xuanzong, but she had no clue. He then continues to ask her about several names, but the name King Li and Jishi rang a bell and she asked if he knows him. It was the name of a famous player that Lei knew from a game. The food delivery man then rings the bell and makes her startled. She asked about the noise and draws her blade, but Lei tells her to stop. He says that someone brought goods for him and they are not a bad guy. She asked if it is a servant, to which he replied that it is a food delivery man. Lei then brings the food to her and asks if she wanted to eat it together. She replies that there was no need, but thanks him. She then looks at him and asked, why is all their hair short? And if they were exiled. Lei gets sweaty and asked what she meant by that. She replied that she took a look outside. When she first arrived an hour ago, Lei knew how violent she is, but he was relieved that nothing bad happened. He asked if anyone saw her, to which she replied that she hid in the dark and wandered around. Lei was about to eat his burger, but Jiang comes close to his face and says that he hadn't answered her question yet. He replied that their hair was short due to the local custom. He then offers his food and asked if she wants some. She stared at the food for some time, but then she shakes her head, saying that she doesn't want it. He then offers her a drink and said that he already opened the can. She gets angry because she thought he is looking down on her and asked, what is this food? Lei said that he wasn't looking down on her and replied that it is a hamburger. The Coke on the table falls on the floor, and looking at the color, Jiang thought it is poisonous. Lei nervously tells that it wasn't poisonous, but Jiang draws her sword and pins him on the floor. Jiang was staring at him intensely, but Lei takes the can and drinks the Coke to make her understand that it wasn't poisonous. He tells her to quit drawing her sword and says that he is a good guy. He then points at his cat and said that she is scaring Wintermelon. He looks at Jiang and thought that there are 3 options to deal with a violent girl like her. The first option is to leave her on the streets, where she would starve or get caught by the police. The second is to call the police and hand her over to them. But he then thought that if something goes wrong, she might attack the police and make a mess for him. The third option is to observe her, and as she is an ancient girl, he thought that she might know some secret techniques. It was a rare chance for him to see those powers, so he thought that he would regret it if he hands her over. After that, he insisted that she tries the burger. She drools while watching the food, but still refuses to accept it. She then asked, what is the thing that is in his hands? Lei replied that it was food, and asked if he should take a bite to prove that it isn't poisonous. Jiang replied that he should, while drooling while he was taking the bite. He thought that this sort of food might be too much for her. He then says that her body won't be able to handle this food, so he will prepare a rice bowl for her. He then tells her to sit, as seeing her standing with a sword makes him scared. Jiang then touches the sofa and tries to sit cautiously. At that time, Jiang was thinking that although she was unfamiliar with everything, she knows that he was trying to help her by offering the umbrella. The room seemed weird, and the stuff he was eating made him look like a weird person to her, so she wants to be careful. She then asked about Lai Bai, as Lei mentioned his name before he tells her to put her sword away, and said that she might get shocked to hear it. She says that she wants to go home no matter where that place is. He looks at her with a sad face and said that she might not be able to return, as it is really far away. She asked how far it is. Lei replies that it is 1,200 years. Jiang asked what did he meant, so Lei explained that this era is 1,200 years after the era she is from. He says that her emperor friends, or everyone that she knew, were from over 1,000 years ago, and that they are already dead. Jiang stands up and calls him a liar. He then tells her that she will find out about it slowly. He also said that the current era is peaceful, but there is a set of laws that she needs to follow. Zhang Lin continued to call him a liar, but Lei said that she will understand if she is a smart person. He said that everyone she knew became history. Jiang gets angry and tried to leave, but Lei tells her to stop. She then draws her blade and points at him. He repeats about the laws and said that she can't go out with a sword like that. Jiang asked, why is he trying to help her? To which Lei replied that when Winter Melon was outside, he took him in. She asked who was Winter Melon. So he said that it is this fat cat. She then gets pissed and asked if he is looking down on her. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon so you don't miss the updates.